What's up, Hokie Nation? And welcome into another Brent Pry press conference breakdown as Virginia Tech aims for its third consecutive victory on Saturday when it plays host to Georgia Tech in Side Lane Stadium. Now, the big storyline coming into this one is Haynes King, the starting quarterback for the Yellow Jackets, going to play? Well, if he doesn't, it's going to be Zach Pyron. He's the guy who beat Virginia Tech in Blacksburg 2 years ago. Is it helpful that the Hokies have seen him in the past? Here's Pry.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so, that we've seen him and some of our players are familiar with him. You know, those two quarterbacks are pretty similar. Both, 6'3", 220-ish, dual threat guys. I don't think their offense changes much from one to the other. Certainly Pyron will come in here with some confidence. He's beaten Virginia Tech, in Lane Stadium already once in his career.
More so from Georgia Tech offensively. As Andy Bitter pointed out, when the Yellow Jackets run the ball well, they win. When they don't, they lose. How crucial is it going to be for Tech to stop the run on Saturday? Let's see.
Yeah, it's going to be a key to success without question. We haven't been consistent enough in our run defense, and that's a point of emphasis for us this week, obviously. And they've done a nice job schematically and with the skill they have. I think their lines played well. They play well together. I think they have some quality backs, particularly 11. They run their quarterbacks well, and they've got some perimeter guys that they hand the ball off to. So this is one of the better run teams we've seen.
And then what stands out about Georgia Tech defensively? Here we go.
Physical. Yeah, they're a physical group, and I think they've got a really nice front. When you can put a good front out there, you got a good chance to get people off schedule and merit some stops, minimize scores, and they certainly have that. They're well coached. Coach Santucci, their defensive coordinator, good school he comes from, been around a lot of good coaches, did a nice job at his previous stop, and he's got these guys playing sound, playing hard. It's a good group.
Now flipping to what Virginia Tech looks like going into the upcoming weekend. As Damian Sordelite from the Roanoke Times mentioned, this is the first time since 2019 that Virginia Tech has forced a turnover in 6 consecutive games. What's been the key to getting so many takeaways? Here's Pry.
Yeah, first of all, it starts with Coach Marv and the staff. They work at it like crazy. Pre-practice, in practice, they've stayed consistent with the drills. If you come out to our practice, you're going to see some of the same things happening all the time, and the guys are getting better and better at it. And then the second piece is, we're always coaching that things happen around the ball, that you got a knife, you got a blade, you got a rip, you got to get to the ball. You never know till you know. You got to be there when it happens, and the guys have done a good job with that.
And then with Jaden Keller now mentioned as a co-starter at the Mike position alongside Sam Brumfield, what has it been like for Pry to watch Keller's growth? Let's see.
I think more than anything, because he's demonstrated it in practice for quite some time now, I think it's the confidence that you can go out there and play with. And I would think that he gains tremendous confidence from his performances the last 2 weeks, and that we can get his best ball moving forward.
And to continue to see what Antoine Powell-Ryland has done week in and week out is incredible. Currently, he's tied for the nation's best with 11 sacks. He has 20 and a half in his Tech career. Is Pry ever surprised by APR's play? Let's see.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. I think his skill set, the way he works at his craft, the emphasis we put on it. I think the history here at Virginia Tech with rushing the quarterback, the history in this structure, rushing the quarterback, it's part of who we need to be. And I'm happy for him, and he certainly has done a tremendous job. But it's also goes along with the type of defense, the caliber of defense we need to play year in and year out with here at Virginia Tech.
Just to wrap it up from an injury standpoint, after being targeted twice last week, is it fair to say that Ollie Jennings is becoming more so in the mix? I mean, the guy does not have a catch since at Old Dominion after the hamstring injury. What are Pry's thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think so. And I think he looked more like himself as far as running around and the things he was doing. We obviously need Ali. He's a big part of what we do in that wide receiver room. And, like anybody else in that room, he'll bounce back from that drop. And just when we need it, he'll make a big play for us.
And then how about Tucker Holloway? Is he getting closer to a return? Here's Pry.
I tell you, he looks great to me. We haven't had any advanced conversations yet with the medical staff, but he's improving all the time. I see him doing more and more off on the side, but he's not practicing, in practice, garnering reps with our team yet.
Well, there you have it. Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech this Saturday at noon in Lane Stadium on the ACC Network. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later this week.